Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, and welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy and excited to have this wonderful opportunity to come to you today and lead you in a very special way in yet another Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is the day that the Lord has made. He has commanded us to rejoice and to be glad in it. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is what you reveal on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. Morning is a good thing, and we are grateful and thankful to have this opportunity to lead you on today. Today is day 71. Let's have some fun. We're going to talk about I give myself permission to fail sometimes. I give myself permission to fail sometimes. You need to give yourself permission to fail sometimes. You're not going to dot every I. You're not going to cross every T on this grief journey. Everything is not going to be perfect. Give yourself permission to fail sometimes. I'm going to let the devotion do the speaking. Let's get to it. The more I learn about the basic principles of grief and mourning, the more I understand what I could and should be doing with my grief. But I'm not always great about applying this understanding. I love this forum because we are bringing awareness and education as it relates to grief. If you haven't learned anything else over the course of the last year and 3 months, we are giving you awareness and education about grief, what it is, how to navigate through it. You should be more aware about not only your grief journey, but just grief in general, right? So the more I learn about the basic principles of grief and mourning, the more I understand what I could and should be doing with my grief. But I'm not always great about applying this understanding. The more you have learned, I love it. I love our journey together. Excuse me. Uh, I love our journey together. And I love the fact that we are equipping you with tools, tips, techniques, and takeaways. We keep it raw, real, and relevant. We're giving you all of this information for you to put it into practice, right? But the thing about it is, you may not always, what did they say? Apply this understanding. You may not always apply this understanding. What are you supposed to do with that? How should you feel about that? It's like diet and exercise. I know what I'm supposed to do to be healthy, but I don't always do it, right? And we find ourselves, I'm giving you the game, I'm giving you the blueprint, I'm giving you tools, tips, techniques, and takeaways. I'm making it practical, portable, and applicable so that you can apply it to your life, so that you can be the best version of yourself, so that you can successfully navigate through your grief journey. But the question is, will you do every single thing? Will you apply every single principle? Will you dot the I's and cross the T's? The reality is you will not, right? And this is the thing. That's okay. Because you're going to give yourself permission, as the title says, what? I give my permission to fail sometimes. Nothing is going to be perfect. You're not going to bat 1,000. You're not going to hit 100 from the field. Nothing is 100%, right? And that's okay, right? Check this out, y'all. I'm trying to help you. So I'm giving myself permission to fail now and then. If there's nothing else that I tell you during this grief journey, I'll tell you a million things, but I tell you, give yourself grace. Give yourself the space to grow, right? I say that constantly. Give yourself grace. As you navigate through this thing, give yourself some grace. It's not gonna always be perfect. You're not gonna get everything right. Everything is not gonna be everything what it needs to be, and that's okay, y'all. Give yourself some grace. The grief journey is filled with ups and downs. That's a sign of life. Even a heartbeat, boop, is filled with ups and downs. Boop, it goes up, comes down. Boop, come on. It's filled with ups and downs. And there are going to be ups and downs in life, in your grief journey. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. There's going to be times where you get it right. There's going to be times when you get it wrong. And that's all right. Give yourself permission every now and then to fail. Let's say I go through periods of ignoring my grief or judging myself harshly. I know that both of these are unhealthy in grief, right? I say it every single day. Right? It is the natural, normal, necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is what you reveal on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. I say it every single day. And yet and still, there may be periods of time where you are ignoring what you feel, right? There may be periods of times where you judge yourself harshly. I tell you, give yourself some grace. But you know what? Let's say you go through these periods of ignoring your grief, judging yourself harshly. I know that both of these are unhealthy in my grief, but sometimes I just get stuck in unhealthy behaviors. Life is challenging and I'm not perfect. This is what you got to understand. Sometimes we get stuck in those unhealthy behaviors. Life is challenging. We're not perfect. Don't beat yourself up, right? Give yourself permission to fail every now and then. It's just like they said with the diet and exercise. We know what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to walk and work out. We know what we're supposed to do. Eat healthy. We know we're supposed to drink water. Say a day or two, you slip up and you don't work out. You grab the cheeseburger, right? You didn't drink any water. You was drinking the soda or the pop. They say it in different regions. It's different things in different regions. Some people say soda. Some people say pop. Some people say soda pop. uh, but you don't beat yourself up. And I love it. It says every now and then. What you don't want to do is develop a habit of it, right? I always say don't let a bad day turn into a bad week. Don't let a bad week turn into a bad month. Don't let a bad month turn into a bad quarter. Don't let a bad quarter turn into a bad year. Don't let a bad year turn into a bad decade, right? Don't let a bad decade turn into a bad century. Who gonna live a century, right? I think y'all get the point. The point is we fall down. We fall down. But we get up, right? Every now and then. We not gonna dot every I. We not gonna cross every T, right? Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to fail. Oh, I didn't get it right. I have been ignoring it. I know you say it every single day. I know I need to talk about, yeah, I've been suppressing. I need to go ahead and express. Hey, it happens every now and then, right? Give yourself grace. Be good to you on this grief journey. Here it is. Life is challenging. I'm not perfect. If you get stuck in unhealthy behaviors, life is challenging. You're not perfect. Recognize it, right? And pull yourself out of it. Check this out, y'all. Here's the final thought. It's not failure. It's learning. It's not failure. It's learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm developing. I'm learning. That's what you got to know and understand. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 71. Didn't we just have some fun? I give myself permission to fail sometimes. Come on, talk to me. Holla at your boy. If you got questions, comments, drop them below. If you got questions, comments, drop them below. Hey, Jel, Ben, I saw a guy at the store yesterday. Turns out that both of moms passed around the same time. He said that I was the first person that he could talk to about it, about his mom without crying. Ain't that something? Look how God strategically puts you in places at the right time and at the right place. I'm so glad. Even in our grief and mourning, we can still help others too. You better talk, girl. That's a whole lesson within itself. You are absolutely right. Even in our grief and mourning, we can still help others through. And sometimes God will bless you and help you and make you aware and coach you up and get you to the point to where now you can help other people, right? Miss Lalicia Jordan, she's on here sometimes and she'll tell you how she buried two sons. And a year later, she buried a husband, right? And then it's just rough to lose two sons and a husband within a year and a half. Oh, it's devastating. Um, but then just a couple of weeks ago, she lost a nephew and she was able to stand alongside her sister, right? And help her as she navigates through her grief process, right? And God, he brings us out to take us back in. That's what Moses did. He brought them out of Egypt and sent him back into Egypt to bring them out of Egypt, after a period of time. That's what God does, right? And so it's so important for us to know and understand that God does. As we hurt, we also heal. And as we heal, God allows us to help other people who are navigating through the same journey we're going through. So thank you for being a witness. Thank you for being a light. Amen. She says Coke. Yep, they'll call it a Coke no matter what it is. It's a Coke. One thing for certain, two things for sure. Everybody has a story and everyone goes through grief, whether they know it or not. And this is the God's honest truth. I say this all the time, Miss Pilar. Everybody's grieving, they just don't know it. Everybody has dealt with loss, change, and transition. Everybody's grieving, they just don't know it. Everybody has a story. Everybody has lost something. Everybody has transitioned out and into something. Everybody has gone through some type of change and they just don't know it. You are absolutely right. Awesome. No questions, no comments. I appreciate y'all. Well, I thank y'all. Hope and pray y'all have a marvelous Monday. Hope y'all pray y'all have a marvelous Monday. Y'all hang in there. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Let's go.